it today? Today we will have section 3. In this video, I will explain all about covalent bond. So we said that every atom's goal in life is to have a filled valence shell. They do anything to get this. If they lose or gain electron, then ionic bonds form. What if they're not able to lose or gain electrons? Well, they would share it. When the two atoms that share electrons are non-metal, covalent bond will form. So basically, covalent bond is a bond formed when atoms share one or more pairs of electrons. This type of bonding happens between two or more nonmetals, so no metals allowed in covalent bonds. In order to identify whether or not something's a metal or non-metal, we're going to use the periodic table. And so no matter how your periodic table is organized, and all of them look a little bit different in terms of colors and groups, overall it's broken up into two parts, the metals and the non-metals. And so you want to follow the staircase, and so with the exception of hydrogen, which we will get to in a second, everything to the left of this staircase is metal, and everything to the right is a non-metal. And the only exception is hydrogen. So the metals are everything inside of this black line, and the non-metal are everything outside of it. Alright, so next is covalent bond electrons are shared, not transferred. Covalent bonding is all about sharing. It's not about giving up or receiving electrons. Substances that have covalent bonds tend to have low melting and boiling points and are brittle in the solid state. So when different atoms react, like metals and non-metals, they normally swap electrons. This is ionic bonding. But when similar atoms react, like non-metals combining with other non-metals, they share electrons. This is covalent bonding. Substances containing covalent bonds consist of individual particles called molecule. So what is a molecule? Since most of you would confuse atoms with molecules, I would like to tell the difference between an atom and a molecule. Take a look at the three substances: helium, hydrogen gas, and H2O. Which of these substances are composed of atoms, and which ones are composed of molecules? Helium is composed of atoms. Each particle of helium is made up of one atom of helium. A particle of hydrogen gas is a molecule. One particle contains two atoms. A molecule is basically a particle with multiple atoms. Water is a molecule. You have an oxygen atom and two hydrogen atoms. So one molecule is basically a particle with many atoms. It could be made of the same type of atom or different types of atoms. So let's define molecule. Molecule is the smallest unit of a substance that keeps all the physical and chemical properties of that substance. So one way to represent atoms and molecules is to use electron-dot diagram. It's a model that shows only the valence electrons in an atom. Why valence electrons? So these electrons are found on the outermost shell, and these are the ones that are very important when considering chemical bonding. Now let's look at the steps involved with drawing electron-dot diagram. So first step, we're going to write the chemical symbol. For example, chlorine. We're going to use chlorine. So the chemical symbol for chlorine is Cl. Next step is to find the number of valence electrons. And if you look at the periodic table, chlorine is one of the group 17. And the key number is 7. We are looking at in terms of valence electrons. So we have 7 valence electrons. And now, how are we going to try to draw them? Well, we're going to use the following configuration. One configuration that I really like to use is the cross massive map method. I put a cross right through the symbol, starting from the top, or you can start from any point from the cross. Start to draw one electron at a time at each end of the cross. So we draw our first at one end, the next one, the next one, and the next one. So we draw one at each corner of the cross. Once we've drawn one at each corner of the cross, then we can start pair up. So we have 3 more electrons to draw. We're gonna start to pair them up. So we start to pair one up, pair another up, pair another up. Please never draw 3 of them at once in one of the corners. So no more than 2 at any one corner of the cross. And then once they are done, remove your cross. There you have your electron dot diagram. An atom is the smallest particle into which an element can be divided and still be the same element. Likewise, a molecule is the smallest particle into which a covalently bonded compound can be divided and still be the same compound. Molecules are composed of at least 2 covalently bonded atoms. The simplest molecules are made of 2 bonded atoms. The molecules that are made of 2 atoms of the same element are called diatomic molecule. Elements that are found in nature as diatomic molecule are called diatomic element. For example, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and the halogens. They are all diatomic elements because they consist of only 2 atoms of the same element. So we have complex molecules too, in which carbon atoms are the basis of these complex molecules. Each carbon atom needs to make 4 covalent bonds to have 8 valence electrons. These bonds can be with atoms of other element or with other carbon's atom. And that's it for today. Your homework is to answer the question of self-check. In the next video, we're going to talk about metallic bonding. Please make sure you understand ionic bonding and covalent bonding before we move on to metallic bonding. Have a great day. Goodbye.